Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to start off with a new type of pick a card, and I guess it's, in a sense, it's not a pick a card because it would be virtually impossible for me to do it in a sense. Let me explain. I noticed that no one's actually doing a pick a card for people that have questions for loved ones that have passed on. They are mainly pick a cards for affirmations and pick-me-ups, predictions of what's going to go on in their life, so forth. So I'm trying something different. I'm going to work with my son and my spirit guides to answer a typical question people ask. I follow different groups on Facebook, and I've asked people, what do you want to ask your loved one after they pass? So I've gotten some ideas in that sense. So today I meditated and picked a few cards to help me. But that's the thing with pick a card. Not everyone is going to have a huge different message per se, because every question is such a common answer that it would be hard to do pick a question, because they would all be super similar. Because what I always preach is the answer to grief is knowing why we exist. So every pick a card would be answered basically in the same way. So that's why I'm just going to do one general question and ask Spirit to help me explain it to you. So today I chose, why did you have to leave? So with that, we must understand, when we contract to come into life, this contract is already laid out for us. And basically the time a soul exits is already planned out. And the way we see it is different, because it could lead from an accident or a wrongdoing, or, such things that don't seem like, well, that didn't seem like it would be planned, but it is, no matter what the actions entail. Like if someone was murdered, or if they were operated on and misdiagnosed, or, just had an accident where you fell off something, everything is for a reason. And everything is played out in a way that doesn't seem, fair. Nothing's fair, but we have to leave somehow. And these situations all play out in another sense to help you experience it. Because in order to evolve, we must experience. So every experience, good or bad, has a reason. And that would be, why did you have to leave? There's so much to why we exist, Some souls come in for a very short time. We're talking a few minutes. And others come in for 100 years. Now, some choose to leave because they did what they needed to do, whether it was to come and help you get to a certain place in your life. You might not have they left and I didn't achieve anything, and it doesn't make sense why they would leave right now. It's because you're at the point where you needed to learn a situation, or you needed to turn in a different direction that you were going. everything is for a reason. So always, always sit back and wonder, well, how did this play out in my journey? Because there are reasons for everything. So, why did you have to leave? Now, let me lay out my cards and kind of get a message here. They are the messages you get from Spirit are just so predictable when you start to turn, sorry, my video cut out. They're so predictable. I need to plug her in. Shoot. Let's see if we can get through this. I can't reach my phone. When you learn to communicate with Spirit, it's almost like they send you messages that you already knew. You know, it's so funny, but that's another video. But we have here is just learning to go with the flow. It's so important to listen to your inner self. Go with the flow, let things happen. You can't fight a person moving on. You can't fight it. We come here and then we leave. And it's so messed up because we come here to learn. And if we only understood that this is not where we belong. We all want to go home, we just don't remember. And that's one thing my son showed me when he passed is, don't get comfortable, that's not your home. Heaven is home. And he made sure I knew this. So this is a message of going with the flow. Your loved one exited, and now you can use them to help you finish this journey until you guys meet again. We don't realize that. You know, the advantage of someone going home is you have that connection now to a soul that has all knowing. When they were here, they were in this sense, this dense realm that we're in, where we don't have all knowing. But when you're connected with a soul that's passed on, they can help you tremendously. My son helps me all the time. It's kind of like cheating in a way. He helps me. It's awesome. And it's sad that people don't realize that they could tap into this. So now I have hitting the mark, intention, detachment. With this one, they're emphasizing that you can get to where you need to go if you would just listen to your intuition. We all are meant to achieve. It's our self that keeps us blocked. The ego, the chatter. We need to learn to balance that. Everything is yin and yang in this existence that we live in. This is just another picture that explains the same thing. Is learning to connect with the other side. Your loved one is no longer in human form. They are in spirit, in a different realm. So people say that I wish I could speak to them. I wish they would talk to me. I wish I could get a message. You can. You just need to learn how to. Another loving message. You have nothing to feel guilty for. You can't take on guilt for something that happened. There's a reason why things happen. If you had a fallout with a loved one, or if, things weren't perfect when they passed, or you did something that felt wrong, or, you were mean to them or whatnot, you can't keep that guilt inside. You can't, because we must understand when a soul goes home, they rewind this life. They go to the Hall of Records, the Akashic Records, and you rewind your life and you see everything flash before you. We have to remember that home is way more advanced than here. So we don't need to speak. Things happen like this. There's no sense of time. This place is where we're in a sense. So you have to remember, when a soul goes home, everything's played out. They automatically understand the situations that every soul on this planet is working on. No one's perfect, and they know that. If you made a mistake, they understand it, because you're here to work on it. If you were perfect, you wouldn't have to be here. If you were perfect, you wouldn't have to come here and learn. So making mistakes, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to make a mistake in order to learn from it. Manifestation. It's what it's about. Manifesting what you want, not the fears. What is it you want? They will help you. When someone passes, they can help you manifest things that are in your heart. That is what you want to work on. People, talk about material things. Oh, I just want a car, but it has to lead to more. It has to come from here. It has to be yin and yang. You can't just have the riches and whatnot, everything has to be yin and yang. And they will help with manifestation a great deal. Get some exercise, movement. Stagnation causes an effect to clog our chakras, clog our antenna to home, to spirit. You have to keep moving, keep things flowing. You have to clear out clutter. Everything revolves around movement. You can't stay stuck. Exercise is a big way of learning how to communicate with your loved ones. So back to, why did you have to leave? That is the big scope of things, is we can't stay here, nor do we want to. You want to because you don't know any better. And this is why when we come into life with different souls, some have to leave because things have to stay changing. Can't stay the same. Nothing stays the same. Some things you're okay with staying the same, and some things you just cannot understand why they don't stay the same. You know what I mean? Like, your age changes, and it's like, well, you deal with it, right? Because you have to. You have to keep going. You can't stay stagnant. So that is the big picture. It's kind of hard to, answer someone, because if I were to tap into your individual loved one, they would say the same roundabout answer. I had to leave. It was my time. I can't stay there no more. I did what I needed to do. Or if I ended my own life, that was because that soul was having trouble understanding their path and made the mistake of ending their life. And then when they crossed over, counsel on the other side says that's where they decide, you know, like, well, you can stay, or in some cases, you know, that you get thrown back into life. It's like, no, you can't come home yet. You need to keep going. You didn't reach a certain point. You know what I mean? There's a reason for absolutely everything. And we don't understand that. We keep questioning that. And you don't have to. And you don't have to think that they're gone. Death does not exist. There's no such thing as death. We continue. Our souls continue. And being on the other side is is home. I can't stress this enough. I celebrate my son's going home so much because I know he's home. He's home. He's he's back home, and he doesn't have to be here. It's funny how our ego wants everyone to stay here, you know. No, stay, you know, stay. You know, it's like, no, let them go if they want to go home, you know. You can't end a contract, you know, like suicide, you know. You can't end a contract. But when your time is time to go, it's time to go. It's all good. So, I think I'll leave you there with this. And if you have any questions, please comment and I will try and answer them. So until next time, thanks for watching.